SITREP Pod, Living Color in Living Color. Eh. And Marty is with me, and Chris is somewhere in the Ethernet. He'll be joining us at some point, I believe. Today on the show, not only are we going to talk about what's new in the world of wargaming, we're going to talk about gaming freedom. Freedom!
Which is kind of funny because that ties into both. Today is Canada Day.
Canada,
It's the celebration of not their independence, but when the three colonies joined together to become Canada, and then of course they stayed under some form of British rule until 1982.
Right.
I mean, that's when they were officially you're your own thing. But happy Canada Day to all of our Canuck friends, as well as we know, it's almost Independence Day here in America.
Treason Day!
Right. The uppity colonists.
Hey, Chris, you're going to have to
turn a light on.
Turn a light on.
I just did.
No, on your face. You're backlit. You're
backlit.
A silhouette.
Yeah.
I don't want to see me. People
Oh,
don't
and
want to see me.
Oh, and by the way, we're live. We're already going.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, cool. Hey, welcome everybody.
How you doing?
All right.
Morning,
Nothing
buddy.
changes. I still don't want to be seen.
All right. It's time for the official intro in 3, 2.
Big Nuke 6 Eagle Thrust. Put on Sidewar off. Sing it loud. This is a Romeo Foxtrot. Shall we dance?
You are listening to the SITREP Podcast, your source for everything related to historical wargaming. Whether you are looking for the latest wargaming news, reviews, painting tutorials, or playthroughs, you will hear about it right here. So grab your favorite beverage or brush and let's hit it.
Let's hit it.
Hit it.
Yes.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where in the world you are. You are watching the SITREP Podcast live cast. We come to you every other Saturday, mostly. We try and keep on that track, but we do apologize that we had to move last week's show to this week just because it was very difficult scheduling-wise for many people. It would have been just me talking, and sometimes that's not so much fun to listen to. So here we are.
Yep.
Happy 4th of July weekend. Happy Treason Day for our former British people.
Overlords. What?
Overlords. That's kind of harsh, man.
Hey, 250 years ago, they wouldn't have said that.
Right? Anyway, moving on.
I kid.
Yes.
I love our friends in the UK and Britain.
So do I, now that we are no longer part of them.
Yeah. Right. Gaz, if you're watching. Hey, buddy.
Still love you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Tuffy ears.
Yeah.
What's not to love there? I mean, come on.
Right. All right. So let's get into it. Chris.
Yeah.
What kind of hobby you been up to, brother?
I've been touching my hobby stuff while I've been unpacking.
One to one hobby.
What you do in your personal time?
No, not touching that. I'm talking. That's as close as I've been to my hobby stuff.
Again, what you do in your personal time?
That's not true. He did some 1-to-1 scale hobbying on his patio.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. He built a 12-foot by 16-foot gazebo cover, whatever, over hey, morning, Rob. Yep, that's it. I was at his daughter's wedding Friday night.
Way to go, Rob.
Yeah.
Oh, Rob.
A good time was had by all, sir.
Good.
I had talked about this hobby that I had done before.
Your trebuchet?
My trebuchet.
Yes, sir. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Chris has had to move abodes, and he's getting settled into his new castle.
Yep.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice. All right. Mr.
Still working on the moat.
He's got a pool though.
Yeah. Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Wish we had a pool. It's
We have
bloody
a pool
hot down here.
And a pond. Pond would be good for you.
Swimming hole.
Mm-hmm.
Here. Cement pond. All right, Marty, what you got going on hobby-wise, brother?
My schedule's been kind of crazy, so I haven't got a whole lot done, but I did. Let's see, I'm up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 10 of the in-country dudes. I think it's all of the Eastern, kind of Russian guys from the in-country starter set. 90% done.
The group formerly known as Wagner.
Yeah, well, a bunch of them are like that. I mean, it's a good thing I don't have their leader as one of my characters because I'm pretty sure he's going to go missing any day now.
Yeah. Well, it'd be easy. You just identify him as the leader with a target on his back.
Yeah, it's true. Just making him an objective marker.
Right.
And then Tony Medina from In Country. He's one of their organized play guys in the Chicagoland area. We met him at Little Wars. We get on fantastically. We've hung out a couple of times. He and Chris came over about a week and a half ago, a couple weeks ago, and we started building some more gaming boards. So I have 2 2x2 gaming boards in progress and 2 3x3 gaming boards in progress.
Nice.
Now when I say that, we'll scale that back just a little bit. I have all of the board bases and frames built.
Yep.
I have one 2x2 that is in progress. That's going to be an Afghan village built into the side of a hill. I've got the terrain all sculpted in, and I'm building the buildings into it, and then I will hit it with the modeling compound and all that stuff to actually get it in there.
Sure.
And I've got about half the board done with buildings. It's going to be packed with buildings. So I've got about half the board done there. The 3x3 is going to be a destroyed urban city, like I don't know, something you would see in Syria or Iraq back in the day, or today, because I don't know that they ever cleaned up and rebuilt. I mean, I don't know what Fallujah looks like these days. I haven't been there in 10 years. So actually, Iraq would have been like 2008. I left there, so
been a while.
Yeah. But that's the theme for that board. And we've already got the terrain in, and we've kind of figured out where the buildings are going to go. But I figured I'd work on this little board first, get it taken care of. Then we'll move on to the larger board. And then I got a whole list of ideas over here. So I'm looking at doing a North African village.
Mm-hmm.
Probably some sort of a Middle Eastern or North African oasis scene. That's one of them. And then I was thinking. Yeah. So I think one of the boards is essentially going to be Solder City, where it's T-walled off. I found some good files for STL files for T-walls. So it'll all be edged out in T-walls, and then you gotta there's a little entrance way in there, and then you fight inside there.
Nice.
So that's the majority of what I've been working on. I've also sort of related and sort of not. I've been printing out some stuff, but what I've been printing out has been little police cars. Because I have a friend of mine, this isn't going to be used for hobby. This is going to be used for actual law enforcement training tabletop exercises. So I'm printing out all of his tabletop incident command stuff for like active shooter, whatever.
Sure.
So I've printed out like 40 little Dodge Charger police cars. And now I'm printing out ambulances, and after that'll be some fire trucks and whatnot. So,
is this how you're going to try to justify? Expense your printers?
No, they're already paid for. So I'm just doing it because he's a buddy of mine that's teaching it, and he's like, "Hey, I wonder where I can get these," and I'm like, I wonder.
You happen to know a guy?
I
know a guy.
I got a guy that does a thing, and I think we can probably help you out with that. So I showed him the first test run yesterday, and he's like, "Oh man, this is amazing!" And I'm like, "Oh, glad you like those. Those are all the." I didn't tell him those are all the fucked up ones. The hard part is I'm trying to. So when I'm printing them out, I'm trying to put like a super tiny a base on them.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, what I'm doing is I'm putting really heavy supports on them,
Okay.
and I'm trying to because these things are so light. I just want to add some weight to them, but
Are they hollow?
they're not. They're
Okay.
solid. So I figured that might work a little bit better. I don't know. But a bunch of those, the bases didn't turn out well. So
Sure.
is what it is. But I painted one like all black, and then you put a little paint on the windows. You know, made the lights red and blue. Painted another car blue, and same deal. And then blacked out the windows, put a little gray out there to make it, give them a little bit of depth to them. And he's like,
Mhm.
"That's amazing." Like, yeah, this is what I do in my free time, bro.
Oh, I know what it is. You're not trying to expend stuff. You're trying to be able to justify doing it during work.
Oh, I wish. Although, not gonna lie, so we had a retirement party at work yesterday. So we all went out for lunch, and 2 Manhattans into dessert. I talked to my boss. I'm like, "Hey, so I'm out evaluating all these classes, and they're all performance-based training. A lot of them are on the range. And I think it would really be more effective, and I could do a better job if I went through it as a student. So I'm gonna need you to buy all my ammo." And I think he said yes, which is why I waited 2 drinks into the dessert.
Mhm.
So
Nice.
got that going for me. But yeah, that's been my hobby stuff
All right.
lately, and I'm gonna continue particularly working on that board when I get a chance, because I'm super excited about the progress. I haven't posted any pictures because it's all white styrofoam.
Mhm.
It it does not photograph well. So soon as I can put some color on it and seal it a little bit, so people can see it, I'll put some legit photos up.
Very nice. That's awesome. That is awesome. So, for me,
Yes, what have you been doing, young man?
well, besides a lot of work,
Right? Your
uh,
your schedule's been crazy.
yeah, I had a board meeting last night at 7:30. Who puts a board meeting on it Friday night at 7:30?
On a
But
holiday
hey,
weekend.
right? That's just rhyme. That's just the way it goes.
It's the burden of leadership.
True that. So, other than that, I don't know if you guys maybe have saw a little bit. There was this video that came out last weekend about the battlefield tour of Fort Donelson. Um,
I heard a thing.
yeah.
I mean, there's this nerd walking around reading some shit. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So, yeah, my grandson
Uh,
Joe and I went out to Fort Donelson.
How
It's
far is that from your place?
about 30 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's real close. And we did the walking battlefield tour of Fort Donelson, which I never knew about, to be honest with you. I don't think a lot of people know it unless they're really big into the American Civil War, but it is really a pivotal battle of the war. Um, it is where Ulysses S. Grant became known nationally,
Yep.
and it started him on his path to becoming not only the general of the army, of the Northern Army, but also eventually president.
El Presidente.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it is essentially where the tide turned for the South, truly. Um, by losing control of the Tennessee and Columbia, excuse me, Columbian rivers, um, it opened up the South to the North. So they then had pretty much control of the rivers. And you remember back in the 1800s, there were no highways.
I was gonna say it was transportation of goods and personnel on those back then.
Yep. So the rivers were the highways of the time. So, yeah, very interesting.
Yep.
We're looking to do another one here soon. I'm not exactly sure. I have so many to choose from. I have Shiloh, which is about an hour away from me.
Okay.
I have the Battle of Parker Crossroads, which is roughly the same. It's about an hour, and Shiloh's about an hour and a half. And then there's Stones River and Chattanooga. I mean, I am literally in the thick of a Civil War battlefields. So we'll see what comes up next.
Cool.
Yeah. Besides that, if you look behind me and around me, we've gotten our game room studio set up.
Yes, I see. There's been some improvements.
Yes.
Make
So
yourself the focus so we could actually see it.
this is the way it's supposed to be. Focus here. Okay. There.
Well, if you're talking about it,
Well, then I'd have to change cameras, and I'm not going to do that.
well, no, just make yourself the primary on the.
Oh, make yourself big.
Oh,
So
big.
we can see the
Okay.
background.
All right. That I
Yeah.
got you. All right. Let me change.
Yeah.
Change
you make-
coming on.
You make yourself big, and Chris, don't touch yourself.
Ah! There you go.
All right.
Okay.
Look at that.
Hey, very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you got some blackout curtains going on back there, it looks like.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. So we now control ambient lighting. So everything is lit by studio lights. Like I have 2 studio lights that point here. And then we have regular stage studio lights back here somewhere. They're off camera, but to light up the round table that's behind us. So when we do Let's Plays, or if we ever get to do a freaking hobby night,
Yeah.
we'll be doing it from there. So
Oh, by the way, alibi. I did hobby night hangout Wednesday night.
yes, you did.
Jeff, thanks for reminding me. I forgot about that. Yeah, we painted up some stuff. Hung out. Good time was had.
It's just, I swear to God, every time I'm like, okay, Dawn, I'm going to be home early on this night. We're going to, get everything ready, get everybody set up, and we'll have a great show. Oh no!
So what you're doing wrong is you're stating that's what your intention is.
Right? So,
So you tell Don, all right, hey, look, it's Wednesday night, and I know that we normally like to do our little hangout here, but I'm gonna stay late at work. I'm gonna have a meeting. We're gonna do some stuff, and then when you don't have to do that, it's a win. You're like, oh, I guess I'm coming home to do this, honey. Make the stuff ready. Let's go.
yes. So
Well, I'm sure that'll work well with
yeah.
Don.
Well, no, Dawn's really anxious to learn how to use the studio.
Okay.
So in case stuff like this happens, she can help run the stream. Like right now. I mean, the software that we use, it's called Restream Studio, is pretty simple to use once you know how to use it.
Yeah,
It
I
really
figured
is.
out much of it.
Yeah. So
Yeah, if
once
Marty
we can get her
figure it out.
comfortable with it, the thing will be, if it's just her, she can sit at the production desk. This is where I'm sitting right now.
Right.
If it's multiple people, then we sit at the round table behind us. I can hold 8 people. We bought this big, giant, round banquet table and put a felt cover on it to use that as a game table. And then if she's using that table, we have to, make sure she knows how to set up the studio lights and the cameras, because we bought extra cameras to film just that. So yeah, it just, stuff behind the scenes. But I think some people, when they look at videos and YouTube channels, they don't realize how much work goes on behind the scene. They think maybe somebody just sits at a computer or a camera and just labs, right?
I mean, yeah.
No. Well, there is Chris, but you
Yeah.
know.
I am also still trying to unpack.
Mm-hmm. So, anyways, so as you can see, we've got this set up, and hopefully we'll start getting some material recorded. I have to still do the Huey. I have a review that's going to go off both channels, the Other Realms and the Historical channel, on the Monument Hobbies hobby bag.
That's a cool looking thing. It's pricey, but it looks cool.
It's very pricey. I don't know. I'll reserve my thoughts, but I'm not exactly sure if it's worth the money until I actually use it. It holds a lot. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, if you travel a lot, you're I don't know, like you're somebody that goes from convention to convention to convention, and you need to have all your hobby stuff with you. Yeah, maybe that's a good investment. I mean, for me, probably not. I mean, it's one more thing that's going to take up space in my hobby room, and to be honest, I don't want to store all my stuff in there, because then I have to go dig it out of there every time I want to use it in my hobby room.
Right. Well, for us, we're kind of using it as our hobby storage, because that's the way we can keep the game room clean and organized.
There you go.
And so, all the paints are in there, brushes. Oh, I still have some reviews to do on some Kolinsky and Wolf bristle brushes, and compare them to some Army painter brushes. I think I have some Citadels, and I have another set of artist Kolinskys that I bought off of Amazon. They're just exclusively artist Kolinsky's, for like watercolors or acrylics or whatnot. So I'm going to do a comparison and see if they were worth it. They were a Kickstarter. So give you my thoughts on that. Hopefully, now that I've got a few days off, well, I say that. But Monday, I now have to go in for half a day because they scheduled interviews. So I have to go do some interviews on Monday morning. But I do have Tuesday off. I took actual PTO time for Tuesday. So, yeah, there's that. Hey, do you like the mug, guys? If you like the mug, you can order it.
Very nice. I have the old school one.
Old school, you got the OG?
Yeah, and OG shirt on today.
That's right. I have the limited edition shirt on.
Very nice.
Yeah, we made those, last year for Little Wars? Oh, speaking of Little Wars, what a segue. Man, I am like a professional at this.
Yeah.
Professional something.
Professional pain in the ass. But
Yes.
outside of that, there is, I just found this out yesterday, there's a gaming convention in Nashville. It's called NashCon.
Yeah.
And it's by the Historical Miniature Gaming Society Mid-South chapter.
Yeah.
So guess where I'm going in August?
NashCon?
Adepticon? Or
now, if I
Adepticon.
can convince a few of my really dearest, closest friends to come down and maybe help me film, that would be tremendous. But no pressure. If you guys in the audience would love to see them at the show with us, please comment below.
Weekend of the 16th, is that right?
I think so, something like that. Yeah,
I don't remember, but yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe our good friend.
Thanks, Rob.
Yep. You get full credit. Notice he did not mention pants.
Right. Well, who says we're wearing pants?
Just saying. So our good friend Steve Herner, excuse me, still have the smoke from the Canadian fires here. By the way,
damn Canadians!
Thanks for burning down your country and sending all the smoke to us.
It's time to share.
Yeah. So Steve Herner's son Reed plays in the AOS tournament there.
Okay.
Usually every year, and while AOS isn't really my jam, they got some one. I like the Herners. They're friends of ours. We've known them forever. Reed is like a nationally ranked player, like
really,
like single digit ranked player. So he can go down there and wreck some stuff. So we may run into some people that we know there as well.
And we are trying to, Marty's going to try and convince Steve to do some painting tutorials, I believe, for the Other Realms channel.
Yeah, or, content of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to see some
beautiful.
I would love to see some Age of Sigmar because I don't play Age of Sigmar, and nothing against anybody who likes it or plays it. I just don't find it appealing. I am so excited for Oldhammer, though. Or the Old World, or whatever they're calling it these days.
Whatever, it's Oldhammer. We know.
Yeah. The Bretonians? Oh, yeah. They looked really good.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know that's the ones that you want.
Yeah. Come on.
Well, and back to Steve.
Knights in shining armor. Cue the music. Right.
So
anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Marty and I will be helping him build a couple more tables.
For
the laser engraver is back up.
Nice. Is that for what does he do in the fall? What's the one?
Holy Havoc.
Holy Havoc.
Yeah.
Holy Wars in the spring, Holy Havoc in the fall, right?
Yes.
You know what we should do? You think we should do a team Age of Sigmar army and participate? No.
I'd have to learn how to play Age of Sigmar.
Right.
Steve would be all about it.
Oh no, I know he would.
Oh, Steve's tried to teach me. We've had.
You know what? I'm not opposed to learning.
Sessions.
Look, here's the thing. Even though the game itself, the miniatures don't really interest me, I am not opposed to learning how to play it. That might be something good, Marty. Have Steve do some intro how to play video of Age of Sigmar, or I don't know. You talk to him. You're there with him, so he goes to your church, right?
Yeah. So how about this? We do like our own junior escalation league.
Junior.
Little teeny escalation league between us.
Yeah. Well, how are we gonna do that? We're in 2 different states.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Good talk.
Figure it out.
I'm just the idea guy here.
Good. We could do it on Tabletop Simulator or whatever.
Yep.
But it's not as much fun. Anyway, so but
they
so
come
there's
painted.
this. Yeah, there's this. Oh my God. Not in your case, Chris.
For Tabletop Simulator,
We would make sure they're just gray
Oh yeah,
you would too.
yeah. You
on the
get no
sprue.
color.
We'll make them gray on the sprue.
Yeah, the game that you have to play. You just Tabletop Simulator assemble your models,
Right.
and then they sit off to the side.
Yeah. So, yeah, good times, good times. But yeah, so Nash got. I had no idea, and I was very excited when I came across that. So I'm definitely looking forward. So I'm going to reach out to those guys and say, hey, the podcast would like to come out and do some filming, and see if we can start working on something. And we'll let them know that we have, a relationship with the guys up in Illinois, and see if we can do something for them as well.
Yeah, and we are members of HMGS.
I'm not. I need to fix that. I
Bro,
didn't
$10.
purposely. I did it purposely because remember, I moved to Florida with the purpose of living on a boat.
It's $10.
I know,
them
but
their $10.
now that I'm back in the biz, as they say, we'll fix that. So, Marty, it's that time, sir.
Listen up, people. It is time for the news with Marty. What in the wide of world wargaming is going on? Let's in on the scuttlebutt. Bring on the awesomeness that is wargaming.
All right, listen to that intro. Yo, Bill's got the new epic intro, and I did no news today. Now I feel like a douche. I did. I'm not gonna lie. I did not prep anything for today. So hey guys, what's new?
Hold on a minute.
So
We're gonna go to our saving grace, Marty. I'll go to our Facebook page.
Oh, there you go.
Well, there was something that I tagged Marty in.
Go ahead.
Our friend Steve Fratt from Fratspiel Games
Oh yeah.
is demoing a new game called Panzer Frat.
Yeah, something. Panzer something.
Yep. And so we'll see how these rules and everything work out. We will be working with Steve once we get a little bit more set up and unpacked here. Getting some videos for his stuff. And yeah. That's all I have.
Good times.
Good times.
In country, is pretty sure they released their new starter set, as well as like every other gaming a company that does business in the United States. There's a sale this weekend for celebration of the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Our
Well, I
Independence
would get
Day.
into our Facebook page, but for some reason I can't log in. So I don't know. I got to reset this computer that's on the production desk. I just need to wipe it and just get it back to just a standard operating system with a few items, because I don't use it for production anymore. So it's just literally the switching computer, camera control computer. So I'll have to back it up and then just wipe it clean and get it back to operating system and whatnot. So
Right. All right. So,
Anyway.
well,
Go ahead.
I've since you can't get it up there on the screen, I said on the screen.
We don't want him to get it up on the screen.
All right. Anyways, drive on.
That's what she said. I did pull up our Facebook page on my phone. You remember a while ago we mentioned that Viv from Knights of Dice was shutting things down.
It's shut.
So yep, he post of the final "Tonight is the end. All products will be marked out of stock at midnight, and any future orders will not be possible."
Yeah.
So they have completely ceased operations, if you will. So he's still maintaining his webpage. He's going to put other hobby stuff and that type of deal there, but they're no longer producing any of their MDF stuff.
Yeah, that's sad.
It is. I really like that dude. I mean,
Yeah, he did good stuff.
he's in Australia. It's not like I was hanging out with him, but I like just his style is his conversation. He's a very motivated guy to listen to usually.
Yeah.
I mean his video when he announced that he was shutting down, that was rough. I mean, he was very emotional,
Yeah.
and understandably so, but
Well,
woo,
when you put your heart and soul into something for, how many years he did it for, and then all of a sudden decide it's no longer viable, it takes a big chunk out of you. I mean, I've been there, done that. I've had dive shops that I've owned, and
yeah,
my very first dive shop, I mean, we put everything into it. I quit my regular job because just couldn't do both anymore.
right,
My wife at the time, she put in some inheritance money to, we put everything we had into that job, and then it
right.
just kind of fell apart years later. But Rob says, playing Operational Art of War 4. Is that the Sega Art of War online PC game? Because I have, I think, 1 and 2, and I love those games. And yes, while there's a lot of tabletop, I have found a love for computer simulation games. There's a one for the American Civil War. Can't remember what it's called off the top of my head right now, but I really like that one. I really like those. So I'm
Yeah.
not opposed to all kinds of wargaming is welcome on this channel.
Yep.
So
So you're a big fan of Arma.
What's that?
You're a big fan of Arma.
Love Arma. Love Arma. I
So,
wish they would come out with the Arma 4. I mean, we've had Arma 3 for 10 plus years now. It's almost like GTA 5. So,
Good.
I do not play GTA 5 for a clarification point. However, I am building my own server, and I'm learning coding and stuff. And Chris has been a tremendous help on that, about servers and all that stuff, to host a GTA 5 based game called 5M/5PD, where you play the police and you have real departments and CAD and all that. It's really cool. But anyways, getting back to this. No, not Sega. I wonder who makes it. Is it the same thing? Is it off of Steam? Anyway, so I'm sorry, Marty. What was your thought?
Also from our Facebook page, looking at the guys that have shared stuff on there, GameCraft Miniatures
Mm.
has a new line of Vietnam terrain that is officially launching next week. So they've got some good looking little huts and village stuff
Nice.
going on there.
I saw
So take a look at them, GameCraft Miniatures. Oddly enough, there's a post from NashCon Miniature Wargaming Convention on there.
hey!
Yeah. So the Phalanx Consortium is going to be there. So
That's how I found out about it.
Yep.
He told because I follow him, because they actually moved to Clarksville.
Yep. Right. Yep. I remember.
We haven't met up with yet, but I definitely we're gonna get him in studio. Hey, he can be here.
I was just gonna
That's
say
cool.
you gotta hook up with him and have him live and in person.
Yeah. So
Yep.
he is the distributor for Dish Dash Games, Skirmish,
Yep.
Skirmish Sangin, and other games and many other things. So
Speaking of which, version 2 is not dead. They are still working on that.
I saw them play testing
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll
Yeah,
be
we have to get
exciting.
Colin on, get some
Yeah, and
updates.
so I follow Colin's personal page.
Mhm.
Colin is quite the artist, by
Yeah.
the way.
He likes
His-
drawing naked peoples.
Yeah, he does a lot of that, but I mean, he's getting pretty good.
He's very good.
He's-
He's very good.
His stuff is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So you gotta like
But going
that.
back to your Vietnam stuff, have you noticed it's like a resurgence of Vietnam for gaming?
There is more and more of it.
Because you have Empress Miniatures putting out some Vietnam stuff. Obviously, Rubicon Models is
Gringo
doing a lot of
40.
Vietnam. Gringo 40. And even Battlefront has rehashed and reinvigorated Nam. Their wargaming rules.
Yep.
Two Fat Lardies has a Vietnam-based game.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's definitely making a comeback. You know what hasn't happened yet that I thought would have happened by now?
Bergosen would be killed. Oh,
Bolt
sorry.
Action. Bolt Action would have a Nam version.
I think that's in the works.
Well, I've been hearing that for
You know,
years.
I mean, well, that's why I say I think, because
Yeah.
talking to John Russell, because every time we meet up, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because John's that guy, as well as he's just a lot of fun to talk to.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, there's always that things going on, and we haven't seen anything really come of it. But I think that they're getting to the point where they might actually be getting closer to pulling it off.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised in, say, the next year that we see something from them.
It's very true.
Yep. Back to Operational Art of War. Publisher is Slytherin,
Oh, Slytherin.
and developer is Turkeysoft.
All right, I got to look this one up because I got to see if it's like the same series and
She-
somebody bought it. What is it
she's
called,
tricky.
Chris?
Operational
Operation.
Art of War 4. Just like Rob posted. And look at Marty. He's a teapot.
No, I'm a coffee pot because I'm pouring my coffee.
Operational
no.
Art of War on Steam.
Whoop, easy.
Oh, it's a hex encounter game. Jim would be all about this.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
assuming. Interesting. Okay, it's totally not what I thought. To be honest with you. Here, let me share the screen for those who are not in the know. Share screen.
Yeah, it's on a special promotion.
Yeah.
Hey.
there-
Ooh, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have as I'm looking at my screen, there's a hardcore war games bundle
Yeah.
that's
So-
got, it looks like a whole buttload of stuff.
Yeah, if you like your classic Hex Encounters games, that is definitely something to take a look at.
Yeah, and Rob and I were talking about that last week at his daughter's wedding reception, and that's his jam, much like Jim. So I'm sure that is something that's right up both of their alleys.
Yeah.
And this one's got Vietnam.
Very cool. I was looking for the version I play, which is the Art of War, where you actually have formations and little dudes, and of course I can't find it now. But there's Art of War, and then there's Warhammer Art of War, and I have Warhammer 2. I think I haven't played them in years, because like who has time to do all that stuff? But yeah, that's very cool. Very cool. I like Slytherin games. Makes a lot of really good war games. If you're looking for more of the traditional type war games, Slytherin and their sister company, I'll think of it, but they do a lot of good stuff. All right. Anything else news-wise?
Charlie Foxtrot Models.
Charlie Foxtrot.
That's right. Has some new kind of Middle East looking terrain. It's
Mhm.
walls and gates that you can that's modular, so you can mix and match and make your own little compounds and that type of stuff, as well as there are some buildings that are going to be coming out that they says he hopes to have by the 15th, 16th of July as pre-release. So
Okay.
if you're
Very cool.
playing that, let's see what else we got in here. Anything good? Well, that's about it, I think. Oh, didn't Games Expo just happen? UK Games Expo?
UK Games Expo happened at the end of May, beginning of June. Origins just happened.
Yeah, well,
Historicon is in July this month. Oh, it's July 1st,
Yeah.
so this month. I still want to go to Historicon. It never
Yeah.
fails. Every time I think I can go, something comes up like a new job.
yeah, that work thing.
Yeah, damn
It's
work,
so inconvenient.
right? Are you talking about the Sun Tzu Art of War from years ago with archers? Yes, I am. Thanks, Rob. See, at
That's-
least one guy's watching us on the internet and listening
Yeah.
to us.
I'm not even watching and listening.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Yeah.
All right.
Since he's the original one.
Yes.
Yeah, the OG.
The OG. All right. Let's transition into. It's kind of quiet without Jim here today.
And without
Anyway.
Tough Ears.
Yeah. Where is
Yeah,
Tuffy Ears?
yeah. Where is the Tuffy Ears? Tuffy Ears.
We'll have to make a special. I'll make a special soundbite whenever she enters the chat.
Oh yeah, Tuffy Ears has entered the chat. Especially when she decides that she's gonna pick on Chris instead of me. I love that. Do that more.
Let's transition to the topic of the day: freedom, gaming freedom. Right? Freedom.
I want
What
my
is-
freedom?
What does that mean to you? And I'll tell you why I chose that as a conversation topic.
I was gonna say,
because of
so
4th
give
of
us a
July,
little
right?
context on where you want to go with this one.
Well, so obviously, freedom equals 4th of July for us here in the United States of America. America. So that's kind of where the seed was planted, if you will. So again, I was hoping Jim would join us because he could talk about the War of Independence, American Revolution, whatever you like to, the treason or traitors' war if you're over in the UK. But so that's where it came from. But taking it deeper is, do you guys ever follow any of the gaming chats? And it could be different groups or whatnot. Sometimes people kind of get bashed for wanting to play or like something that's not in that mainstream realm of that channel or whatnot. Prime example, I was talking to a classic wargaming group, and I talked to them about how I enjoy playing this online game, this Generals, I can't remember what it's called, Civil War General, whatnot. And they're like, "Oh, that's not a real war game. That's just a video game," and blah 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 and blah blah blah. And so it started down the rabbit hole, and it made me feel, not that I have feelings, truly, but yeah. See, it's a consensus.
Why start now?
Right. But it made me think about, some people would be hesitant to talk about things that they really enjoy or like because they're afraid it's going to be bashed, right? So do we truly have freedom of gaming? Look at 40K players. And no offense to any 40K player out there, Tuffy Ears.
Particularly competitive.
Competitive. There is nothing else besides 40K. Absolutely nothing, right? 40K, 7 days, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And, if you talk about something, oh God, no, there's only one game and it's 40K. And if you try and bring in some other options, it's, that's a stupid game. And, it's almost like I wish they would bring the mall back, because when you grew up hanging out at malls, there was no keyboard warriors. If you didn't like something and you said it, you dealt with the repercussions, right?
Yeah.
Either they liked you, they called you stupid names, or you got your, you got
punched in the face.
Exactly. There were, and I know it sounds brutal in today's standards, but you learned how to navigate the social waters. Okay, that's my soapbox for the day. But getting back to the topic, do you guys feel, I know you guys haven't been in the gaming universe extremely long, but do you feel, have you seen it, not necessarily experienced it yourself, that sometimes people are kind of get like, nope, that's dumb, that like there isn't a gaming freedom. Like, I'm almost afraid to like something because somebody's going to bash it.
Yeah, well, I think that gatekeeping is 100% a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not that everybody does it, but if you are on enough forums and pages and whatnot, you'll see it.
Yeah.
As well as there are folks that will like if you post a work in progress, for instance, or you post up your work that you've completed, that can't just like it or scroll past it. they've got to have something. Well, because you get the rivet counters that are like, the buttons on that guy are the wrong color. The piping's supposed to be yellow on him, not red. I'm like, oh, dude, bro, just let me paint my little dudes and push them around the table. I didn't ask for criticism. I'm just sharing what I did.
Right.
So you see that sometime, and like, for the most part, for myself, I'm like, whatever, bro. I don't give a crap.
Yeah. First off, you're not going to offend any of us because we don't have feelings.
Yeah.
There's that.
Turns out I don't care. I'm just sharing this. Because I'm happy that I did it. As well as in some cases it's literally because it's content.
So with I don't see it from other gamers as much as I see it from, lack of a better term, civilians. They're like, oh, you play miniatures.
Toy soldiers.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I lean into that though.
Yeah.
I have little toy soldiers. They're awesome. Check these out. And then I whip out my phone and I start showing them pictures, and their eyes roll back in their head and they leave, and it's done. Or they're like, how did you? So, okay, little sidebar on this.
No, we're going off tangent.
So sort of. So we're talking about gatekeep. This is the exact opposite. Because I'm out in my driveway working on one of the game tables, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of my neighbors, older gentleman and his wife, I know them by sight, but I've never personally met them. But they've been here forever. I see them around the neighborhood all the time. They're like, "What are you doing over there?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm building a gaming board." And they're like, "For checkers?" Now this is a 3x3 table I had out at the time. So
big checkers.
So I'm into tabletop warfare, and we have these little dudes, and and I give them the whole spiel, and then now they're walking up the driveway. And they're looking at it. And I'm like, to give you, I wasn't gonna run back in the house because I was, covered in sawdust and styrofoam at the time. And I'm like, here, to give you an idea of what we're talking about, and I start pulling up pictures on my phone, and here's this guy, and this is what I'm working on right now, and I've got all these dudes, and they're like, oh, they totally didn't have a clue what the hobby was at all.
Yeah.
But they were really interested in it. Not that they wanted to play, but they were just the fact that, hey, this exists. Your little guys look like little guys. You're gonna make a little world for them to fight on. Like, yep, 100%. That's what we're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
So and then the other comment was, I bet our son would do stuff like that. And their son's like 35. I bet our son would be into stuff like that. Is it okay if he stops? Yeah, sure. You know where I live.
Yeah. Share the hobby, right?
Bring
the hobby.
on by.
Yeah. See, and you guys are talking about, different gamers. A lot of things is, I don't care. People are like, oh, I don't like your genre or whatever. My favorite game is one called Creeper World. I shared the link to Bill. It is completely futuristic, I guess.
Creeper?
But no.
Cruise around in a panelless, windowless panel van?
Yeah, free candy. Yeah, it seems legit. But it is a great strategy game. It's a great way to just chill sometimes.
Interesting.
I
saw it.
Yeah.
It's very cartoony.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bash it, man. It's cartoony and it looks stupid. You know what I'm saying?
But again,
game. There's no hex and carrots.
Yeah. But then again, like I said, I'd have to value your opinion.
Right.
So.
And when have you ever valued my opinion?
Yeah. Once again, why start now?
I mean, shit. We've only known each other almost 40 years.
40 years.
Yeah.
And
that's why we're all friends. We don't value anybody's opinion.
Well, what? Truth be told, we value each other's opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't be good friends if we, I mean, and to be clear to everybody out there that doesn't know us, we literally have known each other since sophomore year of high school, and when did we graduate? 86.
Yeah.
So
Ish.
84.
87.
So anyway, we've known each other since about 1984.
Yeah. I met
So
Bill working at McDonald's.
at McDonald's, yeah, my first real job. Yes. So and then it was downhill from there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. I was on the high track to greatness, and then I met
That's-
Chris.
You're well on your way to assistant manager.
Someday.
I'm gonna claw my way.
Someday
to
I might
mediocrity.
own my own McDonald's. Welcome to McDougal's. What was it?
Yeah,
McDougal's?
McDougal's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, but
yeah.
you know, the nice thing about wargaming is if you've ever been to a wargaming convention or to a well-run wargaming store or gaming store, people make you feel welcome. They don't look down on you about what your game choice are, and whatnot. I have been to game stores where you scratch your head when you leave, going, "How are these people in business?" They talk down about everything, right? I remember one game store where a lot of people invested into a certain game, and Dawn and I went back a few weeks, maybe a month later, and we're talking to some people, and they were trashing it because, oh, it's broken, and we could do this, and it's just a stupid game. And I'm like, dude, you just sold so many people hundreds of dollars of stuff for this game, and now a month later you're trashing it. What does that make your customers feel like?
Well, I was gonna say, particularly as the store owner, that's. I mean,
Yeah.
you're allowed to have your opinions, but
Yeah. I mean, you don't
might
say it
wanna
that
take
way.
it. Yeah, you might want to take it easy on the rhetoric there because, broken or not, you sold enough that you may have a small gaming community there that
Yeah.
wants to do it still. And if they feel like you're going to bash them for buying the game you sold them when you want to play it in their store, that's probably not a good business practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So-
you're also taking advantage of people too. It's one thing to say, hey,
Whether you
it's
intended to or not, that's what it
Yeah.
comes across as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing to say, it appears to be a good game, or you don't even have to say that. Just say it's not my cup of tea.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah. So, there's, what was I going to say? I think there's freedom of gaming. I mean, if you go to conventions, Little Wars is an excellent example. It's mostly historical based, but they've been bringing in some other genres to try and expand their audience a little bit.
And they just to be honest, they just like that stuff.
Yeah.
It turns out almost all of them are Lord of the Rings fans. So
Ooh,
if you're playing some sort of Lord of the Rings based game, they're down.
Yeah.
Also, that's why I brought a Lord of the Rings figure to the painting competition, because know your audience.
Right. Exactly. So, I'm kind of hearing myself. Do you guys hear an echo?
Nope.
Interesting.
Nope.
All right.
It's actually in your head, not on the computer.
It might be
Hey, at least all the voices are speaking the same language, though.
right.
It's a nice change of pace.
Yep.
Oh,
The other thing about as we get older, we like the wargaming because we're too effing old to be doing the war game in real life.
Oh yeah, that actually running around and hiding stuff and
Right?
jumping
Yeah.
over things.
Yeah.
It's a young man's game. I'm done with that.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think there's definitely a nuance to wargaming. There is definitely, I think, wargaming, whether it's historical fantasy, whatever genre you like or are interested in, there is the freedom to play the game, right? And play it how you want. Now, if you go off the reservation and you do something really wacky, then yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think kind of, and I'm not sure this is really where you meant to go, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyway.
Go ahead.
I think kind of part of that is, you need to be a good person and a good player. And I don't mean good like you have to excel at the game. I mean
Sportsmanship,
you can't be a dick.
right?
Yeah.
No dicks allowed.
Right. And you mentioned that, but that's where a lot of my experience with Warhammer is when you see competitions.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
some of them are some cheating MFers.
Well, now, careful on that one.
Well, okay, from my experience seeing it,
Alleged cheaters.
So,
yes.
but there's
The-
also a lot of power gamers
Oh, yeah, big time.
on the competitive side, and
Big time.
particularly if you're a new dude like me, you're like, oh, here I brought my little mishmash of dudes because I haven't figured out list building yet, and this dude just shellacks you. I mean, tables you turn one, right? Do I really want to play, man? I
No.
don't.
Well,
that's not a
okay.
good experience.
So, are you talking you're at a competition or just like a local game store? Just
Like
pick up
like a
games?
like a game store. You sign up for a tournament. You got to know that is the 100% the goal is for
Right.
But
to win.
that's not the goal, because when we watched Holy Wars, we saw outstanding sportsmanship there.
we
Hold on a minute, though. Hold on a minute. Holy Wars is run completely different
uh-huh.
than other gaming conventions
It is.
/ tournaments. Completely different.
Yeah.
And I'm
It
not
is.
saying other conventions tournaments are run badly or poorly.
It is a narrative event more than it is a tournament.
And Steve lets the people know up front, this game is all about the narrative, the story, and how you play the game, meaning how you interact with the other players. It's not about who's the champion.
Right. Well,
mean,
but that's
there's
part of the thing with Age
There's a
of
dozen
Sigmar.
awards, and only one of them has to do with winning.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything
Truly.
else is based on something else.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to get some feedback on Holy Wars, I know you guys did a little coverage, but if you go to Beast of War and look up Holy Wars or Holy Havoc, you will see coverage that Dawn and I did years ago when Steve first started up.
Yeah.
Because one of the guys I used to work with at the police department knew Steve. I don't remember how he knew Steve. Todd, and he is who got me in contact with Steve back when Steve was starting up Holy Wars, and he had his first or second tournament at the hotel there in Yorkville. So
Yeah. That's where he started out. I forgot
Yeah.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a very well run tournament. It's not huge, but truly, most of the awards and recognition given out is for sportsmanship, and it has nothing to do with winning.
Yeah.
So
But then again, that's where I'm going with. There's some games that I'm not interested in playing again just because of the way some people are playing it. Like you said, Marty, getting tabled. Some people, it's not about the game, it's about the win, and that's just the wrong mentality when you're coming into gaming.
but you were playing in a tournament, Chris, right? You were in the Adepticon 40K tournament. That is like the tournament for 40K in the United States.
So talk to your brother about the one tournament that
I have.
and he will even say that the guy was probably using loaded dice because
And
he had some dice that were strictly for rolling high.
yeah, he probably
some were-
baked them.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, he probably baked them. So
And that is the thing that I'm talking about. That's not a game. That's not a competition. That's if you're cheating, you should be banned.
but you got to prove it, right? So there's that. And then now, to be fair,
Yeah.
Adepticon is run by some friends of mine and Dawn's, and they do a
there's nothing about
tremendous
them.
job.
It's about the people. It's about
No, I get that, but hold on a minute. They do a really good job of policing that kind of stuff. And I know you had a bad experience at it. My brother was with you on your team.
Yep.
He still plays 40K.
Yeah.
He loves 40K. 40K is like his jam.
Yep.
I think he plays a little bolt action, but I think he just dipped his toes in the water. But 40K is his jam. And I'll be honest with you, I'm probably going to pick up 10th edition so I can build an army so I can start playing with my brother. I have not. My brother and I used to be very, very close when we were young. And then I hit high school age, and he's 5 years younger than me? I believe he's like 5 years younger than me.
No.
Yeah. He was born in 72
I thought he was in school with us.
or 71. 71 or 72?
He's 4 years younger than you.
No. 71?
He was in
72.
school with us,
No, he wasn't.
wasn't he?
No. He went to freshman year, the year after I graduated.
Huh.
Oh, that's why. Because I mean, you're
Yes.
behind you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm like. No.
So he's
he was
5 years
very-
younger than us. Yeah, 5
Yeah.
years.
It just felt like he was in school with
That-
us because we
that-
saw him all
Well,
the time.
you know, we
Then you two old dudes, you mean? Yes.
us two old dudes.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you know, high school happened, and then real life happened, and real life happened even more.
Yep.
And you know, I'm just not as close with my brother as I used to be, and I do miss that. And gaming
Yeah.
does help with those kind of things.
Yeah.
You know, like right now, he's on vacation in Yellowstone with my cousin Bobby. Him and Bobby are roughly the same age, so I get it. You know, they've bonded and have a real good relationship because they're the same age, and you know, time does do things. So,
Yep.
but the point being is that I will probably pick up 40K because I want to be able to have something that I can talk to my brother about in wargaming, you know, that's in his realm versus having him come to my realm all the time. And I don't know.
Yep.
I might like it. I don't know. You know,
Yep.
if nothing else, I'll have some cool models. They do
Yep.
make nice models.
Yeah. Yep. Now, if anything, if I get into any of that, I might get into the Age of Sigmar.
Really, you like
Just-
this?
Well, it's not so much like it. I like the group that I see.
Oh yeah! Now it's a party. Duffy is in the
Hold
house.
on, here we go. You ready? Duffy Ears has entered the conversation.
About time.
Has entered the chat.
Comms.
I'm going to make a
Wait-
formal.
wait a- wait a
Duffy
minute,
Ears, I'm
wait a
going to
minute.
make a formal video audio clip for you every time you join the chat.
Oh, so Marty, you had trouble with your comms one time. I know I had trouble with it. It's weird. It comes around.
Oh,
Yeah.
here we go. Chris has just unleashed the dogs of war.
So,
No, not really. Because we'll all have issues with our comms again in the future.
I don't care about that as long as she's picking on you, not me.
Yep.
That
But
was
yeah,
a comment I made earlier. Tough years. I'm like, the best part about her showing up is when she rips up Chris instead of me.
You know,
Oh, you
so-
see that? So the GW
The
chat.
GW chat summoned you.
So yeah, no, with the
A disturbance in the force.
I like the at least the Holy Havoc and the Holy Hammer.
Mhm.
Plus, you know, Steve is now just down the street. He's in the same town, so
Yeah.
you know, there'll be someone to play. You know, and I'm
I
sure
thought he
he'll
lived in
teach-
Naperville.
No, Plainfield.
Oh, okay.
He- right on the Napier Plainfield border off of 59.
Gotcha.
Which
know
you know
nobody
extends of
other
like
than-
8 miles, but
Yeah, I was gonna say I know no one other than the three of us, so I can't understand that reference. But
Right.
it just means he's close by.
Cool. All right. You know, so getting back to the conversation, like, so with my brother, we also have a common love for classic Avalon Hill games. I mean, that's what we grew up on. You know, I mean,
Right.
if you knew my dad back in the day when he was all there and sane and not a grouchy old man, him and my uncle Bob played a lot of Avalon Hill games. And so one of the games I really want to get my brother back into playing with me is one that Don loves to play too. Circus Maximus, Chariot Racing. It is a tremendous game. We are going to do a live one on the show.
Oh man, so the is it Five Guys and a Lawyer at
oh yeah, that was
They did they actually did the Circus Maximus,
the
didn't they?
whole- yeah, the whole
Yeah, I saw the
Coliseum.
pictures.
It's got like 4,000 3mm spectators.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I
it
would love to
was
do something
impressive.
like that. But I have to get my hands on another. I sold my copy of when I sold everything.
Yep.
Nothing like starting over for a third or fourth or fifth time. But you know what? It's kind of fun. So, but yes, Rob, I am a huge fan of Avalon Hill games. At one point, I had a pretty extensive collection of Avalon Hill games. So I will probably rebuild. I don't know if I'll go to that extreme I had. If you see some of our old pictures from our old house, our old game room / studio,
Stacked.
there were a few games, just a few.
Stacked. Lots
So,
of them.
I think when we counted all the games that we had in the studio, the storage closet up on the second floor, and in our hobby room, I think we almost had like 2,000 plus games in our collection. So, a lot of that was
Yep.
gotten through convention coverage, and then just collecting different things. But
Yep.
so yeah, I mean, if you find a commonality, whether it's miniature based, online, PC,
And,
classic
and
games.
for those people who follow our feed, you will have met Bill's brother during the
Rourke's Drift, baby.
yep.
Yes, it's gonna be time to do another one. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, you've been getting all the WoFun dudes for that, right?
Yeah, I my brother, my son Jesse and I played Rourke's Drift. Go figure. Once I got the WoFun figures. So we used the Victoria Cross 2 set. That's what they're designed
Right.
for those rules. It's actually okay. I did miss the big table, the big panoramic table we had built and everything. My brother actually has that set now, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah.
He
Well,
has
that
what
table
set?
was
The
what,
wolf one?
16 by
yeah,
8,
how big was that table we did?
16 by 6.
Something like that, yeah. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful. And, the nice thing about it was simple. We could have gotten
was.
big into detail and, done blades of grass and bushes and rocks and all that. But we wanted it to be playable and still looks good. And so, we built the Warlord Horns of the Buffalo set.
Right.
And then we used canvas for the ground, and we painted it shaded, with different spray paints and stuff to give it the illusion of terrain. And it worked pretty good, I thought.
Yeah. Put a foam, and it was all scrap foam.
Yeah.
Foam mountain overlooking it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it
Yeah.
turned out all right.
Yeah, I thought it did well.
It was good enough to play our game.
Sure was.
That's what counts.
I just think we need better rules.
Yeah, it was a little.
It definitely need tweaking. They're definitely. I was thinking about that when I was playing the Victoria Cross 2 rules. Those might have done really well for us, the way that they came out. Maybe I'll do a review playthrough so you guys can see it, and you can think about it yourself. Tuffy Ear says, I've also invested some money into my other hobby, more woohoo than gaming.
More woo-woo.
Well, okay, Tuffy Ears, here in the United States, woohoo can mean several things.
Yeah, what are we woo-wooing?
One, yeah, what are you woohooing? Because here in the U.S., that could be a little,
Yeah.
It can
But,
get
it could
get
be
a
a
little
little bit.
spicy.
we're knocking the boots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Not to be confused with the Yoo-hoo, which is a decent drink at times.
Yes.
Yeah, if you like
But you
chocolate syrup.
don't ignore Tuffy Ear's earlier question.
I've got the new 10th edition set for 40K. Bill, have you got your board cube yet? No, I haven't got the board cube yet. I don't know if I will. I want it, but I just don't know. I'm trying to be smart about buying stuff instead of just buying it because I like it, which I fail. But
Really?
yeah,
That's
No.
I have
trying to be smart about it.
I've been trying to stick to my promise of one game, finish it, and buy another one. I've already failed at that one.
Well, that's not a thing. Yeah.
I have the Lord of the Rings set sitting over here.
Yay.
And still in the box. I haven't gotten it. You can see it there. And then right below it, there is Shatterpoint.
Yay.
I haven't put it out there yet. So, but I'm trying to I want to get those done, at least assembled. Yeah, that one.
Still in the
blurry as
plastic.
hell, but yeah.
Well,
We got to get you a better camera, dude.
No, it's still in the plastic. That's why you had the.
No, it's blurry as hell. You couldn't see it.
so if we're playing show and tell, by the way, I got this for Father's Day.
Marvel
Ooh.
Zombies. Nice. Very nice. So,
80.
and then
87 more dudes to paint.
I'm going to do some more Civil War. I'm really thinking those WoFun guys, I know they're kind of static poses, but if you get that, what's the cigar battle mat? Cigar box battle mats. They look really nice. And then, just use the WoFun. Isn't that what your friend uses?
Yeah, that's what Steve went to.
Yeah. So
So here's the consideration that unless you're a gamer that's into this, you might not have thought about. So
mhm,
for transportation purposes, using those Wolfun
yeah,
miniatures, much smaller space,
yeah,
as well as much lighter
yes,
Yeah.
than
Let's see.
all those, because his were metal.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh wait, you're saying that
thousands of
more
metal
flat
figures.
plastic pieces are lighter than lead?
Pewter,
Yes,
white metal,
Weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
100%. And Steve's no spring chicken, so he's got to haul all that junk around.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
not junk. I mean, that's uh,
It's
uh,
still an epic board.
I mean,
but
think
I
of
mean,
it this way for me
I
now.
mean, it's
Go ahead, Mark.
literally hundreds of pounds of metal.
Yeah. Yeah, and to be able to set up on our table to do a quick battle, and you just have the stands,
Yep.
and you don't have to worry about broken bayonets and rifles and flags. It's all they're well done artists.
Yeah.
Sometimes the artwork can be a little cartoony-ish. You know what? Let me bring it up
I
because
think they're pretty good. I like them.
well, it depends on the
But
artist.
it's about the scale too. I mean, his board's what 90 feet long or something like that.
Yeah.
18
Yeah. I mean, it's just amazing.
by 8.
Yeah, and so when you're seeing them as basically just big units.
Units. He said unit.
Unit.
Yeah. I mean, at that scale, you're not looking at them really tight.
Yeah. So I mean, here's some Civil War guys right here. That looks pretty good. I mean, like I said, a little static, but not too bad. Looks like you got some Napoleonics here. Let me see if I can get to the actual product page. They got all kinds. So 7 Years War, Trafalgar, Napoleonics, and 10 mil. They got the Texas Revolution. Okay, so this is the artist that does those. Let me see if I can show some of his. So there's the Alamo. We have an Alamo.
We do.
There's the Mexican Army.
Would that be the same scale?
It's 18 millimeter. I think it'll work much better in that fort than 28 mil. I think isn't that 28 mil the fort for 28 mil?
I think so.
I think honestly the 18 mil might look better from
Yeah.
a visual aspect.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get to the Civil War ones.
Yeah, Marty can't answer because he's getting rid of coffee.
Again.
Well, but he's drinking it by the pot.
Yeah. American Civil War. So you can get these big packs, 440 miniatures. So, it got Zuevs. I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
Confederates. It will do the job. And it's not terribly expensive. 127 euro. That's roughly 150 bucks. And you get all these miniatures. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. All right. Okay. There he is. So yeah, I mean, Wofun is there. So Tough Ears, finally answer your question. No, I did not get the board cube set. I am looking to pick up 10th edition. Is it Leviathan? I think is the
Yep,
new set.
Leviathan.
I don't know. Like I said, I hate to go down the rabbit hole 40K, but it is probably the most popular miniatures game in the world, to be honest with you. And like I said, my brother really likes it. And
What army?
I have no idea. I like the Tau. The only reason I like the Tau, I know nothing about how they actually play. I like them because they have stompy robots.
Rule of cool. That's
Yeah.
I have several armies that suck, but man, do I like them. They look
Yeah.
good.
Yep.
So, but in historical, like I said, I really liking the Wofun because hey, I want to play a Civil War battle. Pull out the box of Civil War guys. Put them out, get them all set up. Don't have to worry, like I said, about broken bayonets, flags, whatnot. You don't have to sit there and assemble tiny little pieces. And if I want to do a really nice piece of work, I will continue to do this.
Yeah.
This is something Chris painted up for me or printed up for me.
I was going to say, shit, I didn't paint shit.
So this is
Chris and paint right next to each other. That's not a thing.
yeah. So so I'm definitely gonna be working on this.
I
So-
found your Raven, by the way.
Oh, did you find the Raven? Cool. All right. So
And so that is Odin
mhm,
from Loot Studios.
yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I really got to get that Huey together.
Yeah, you keep threatening to do
I
it.
know. It's like every time I try to sit down to do it, something else comes up. It's just, and to be honest with you, we had Joey here for a month, our grandson, and it was really hard to do hobby stuff when you feel like you have to entertain slash,
Yeah, I was gonna say unless he is getting into that, and I
which
don't
he
think-
would. Yeah, I mean, he likes to do everything. Joey is a smart kid, and I know every grandparent says that, but he loves games, loves playing games.
And-
Dawn and him played games every day,
and he will he will give you a serious or run for your money playing Magic.
and it's really surprising. I was playing Magic with him the other night. We're playing Commander, which is a game where multiple people can play, and I lay down a card and he goes, "Oh, that's so and so, and it does this," and I'm like, "Jesus, how do you know this?" Every card he knew the
Because he
card.
knows them all.
Yeah, he really has taken a serious interest into Magic and knows the cards, and he's becoming really good. And he got to the point where he's kind of annoying Dawn because he knows the rules really well, and so she would do something and he would go, "Oh, it does this, and you can't do that."
Oh,
And she
no,
goes,
no.
"Ah," So tough of yours. You're awfully quiet. Are you okay? Just checking
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah.
We still want to know what the woo woo then gaming
Yes.
means.
Yeah, what do we
Woo-woo.
win?
What's woo woo?
Oh,
Anyway,
does that mean something different in the UK?
I'm assuming
Everything
it
means
does.
something different
I mean-
in the UK.
I mean, a bonnet is the hood of the car.
Oh, I thought
Oh.
that was like a hat that Amish
Right.
people wore.
A lift is an elevator.
The boot.
The boot is the trunk. A fag is a
is a
cigarette.
cigarette.
Yes. Spotted dick.
Oh, that's what we told Chris not to touch earlier.
If it's spotted, something's wrong. You need to see somebody about that.
Hey, it's yours. You do what you want.
So
I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life. Just put more chlorine in the pool.
Yep.
that may be why it's spotted. Too much chlorine.
No.
So what do you guys think? I mean,
How about what's the question now?
what we're talking about,
So-
Chris.
so
So,
I think-
have you guys experienced anybody kind of talking down a game that you might be interested in, or talking to somebody else about, or seen in the chats or whatnot?
I've sort of had that, and I say that because generally if there's people that are like that, I generally just avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not you're not my kind of person. I don't want to do that.
Right.
I have to be an asshole at work all the time. Well, not all the time, but frequently I have to have some hard conversations with people, right? So I don't want my hobby and my gaming to be like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I am all about civil discourse. If you like something, then and I don't, okay.
Yeah.
It's a game. Lighten up, Francis.
Yeah.
I prefer the smaller scale, and I mean scope games that
Yeah.
are skirmish in nature, and I like 28mm scale. I like the larger models, if you will, for the most part. But that doesn't mean that Avalon Hill suddenly sucks.
Yeah.
It just means that's not my go-to.
Yeah, and part of the thing that ties in with being part of the podcasting and what we do, we're interested in all games.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that makes it easier on us because we show interest in all games and people aren't as opinionated back when we talk about what our love is because we still have shown interest in what their love is.
Right.
And I think that a lot of dudes are will sometimes get defensive about their game. No, my game's I'm not saying your game's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your-
And I do want to
your game could be-
apologize to
Your
the
game could be terrific. It's not what I personally want to play, but please do that. I mean, hell, I'll help you build terrain for it because I'm that guy. I will
Yeah.
100% do that.
Yeah.
I'll 100% do that. But am I interested in playing it? Maybe, maybe not. But
Mhm.
doesn't make it bad.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I like to encourage that because any gaming is better than no gaming.
Right.
So if nothing else, that may be the gateway that I get you to come play. I is that we find some common ground there, or maybe it's just we build a personal relationship, we have this rapport established, and you're like, well, I think your game is stupid, but I'll come play it with you.
Yeah.
And then you have the opportunity to change their mind. It's a little bit of a social contract, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do want to apologize to the 40K people out there. I wasn't talking bad about the 40K because I've got an army still. My issue with 40K wasn't with the players or whatever. It was again a bad experience.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's I any gaming is better than nothing. I mean, hell, sit down, play cards. Deck of cards, and Marty and I in high school used to drink tequila and play chess.
Those are some interesting games.
They were.
We
Notice
the,
I said in high school.
the Mescal Gambit.
Right?
Saying
Yeah.
whoever loses has to eat the worm.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's
Or like Rob, who was in the chat here. We were talking. He likes the larger scale. I'm the like Jim. I'm the big general, and I control all these forces, right?
Yeah.
He enjoys those games, and he's like, yeah, we should play those. I'm like, yeah, we should. I mean, pretty sure I got some up there. Let's go do that. Generally not my jam, but also I lean towards my own personal life experience,
Mm-hmm.
and it turns out I'm not a general, and I don't really want to be one. But I am very much into leading my own troops and taking care of those guys.
Yep.
I've done that a bunch of times, and for a
Yep.
long time in the actual military. So that's where my love lies, if you will.
yeah.
Sure.
However, I would not mind their paycheck.
I mean, take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
No, get it. So, I mean, basically, the whole, to sum up, is don't close the door. Whether for yourself or someone else. If you don't like a game, you don't like a game. I just don't bash it, right? Because
Yeah.
give people the freedom to like it or choose to or whatever. And be open to trying it if you haven't tried it. Even if you have preconceived notions, you might be surprised and might like it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
100%.
Guys,
Yeah.
have any final thoughts before we close out the show today? I smell some smoke, and it's not from Canada.
Mhm. It is up here. Ah, yeah. See, there we go. Rob's in.
Yep.
We're gonna have to send the Met to Tough Ear's house to make sure she's okay. She's been awfully quiet today.
Well, she said she was having comms issues. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well, they were in a big heat wave over in the UK, and they don't have air conditioning stuff, so they were probably spontaneously combusting.
Yeah. They've had a rough go at it weather-wise.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And
have.
they're not built for that.
No.
Absolutely not. Like I said, they don't have air conditioning.
Right. So unless you have one of the Hobbit hole houses that'll keep you cool, yeah, they're probably sweltering in most of it.
Yeah. You guys have any upcoming projects or things you're going to be working on or looking to work on or have an interest in or something that's coming out that has garnered your attention?
For me, I want to get the house organized.
Yeah.
I know. And try to catch up on some of my piles of shame.
So we need to reestablish Chris's hobby space
Uh-huh.
because he's got the room. There's a designated room, and he's got his stuff. But
Take care,
again,
Rob.
prior. Oh, hey, we'll see you, Rob.
Take care.
But nothing set up yet. Obviously priorities. The kitchen's probably more important because we like eating.
Yeah.
Just saying. Stuff like that. So
Yeah.
definitely got to get that tracking over at Chris's house. I'm gonna lean into continuing to do the rest of my in-country starter kit. Or Chris, actually, it's Chris's. He bought it. Oddly enough, I'm the one painting it.
Well, we need to play it.
But finish painting those dudes up. I'm almost done with the Eastern guys, and then I've got another 15 Western dudes, and then a dog with them.
You've got a class coming up.
Oh yeah,
you were teaching.
Got another one?
Sort of. It's not scheduled. I got to talk to Dana. It'll happen sometime.
It's scheduled for July.
Yeah.
When exactly, we don't know.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
we haven't put that one in the books yet.
That's water
effects. Yeah.
Yep.
We're gonna mostly do UV resin because I have such a limited amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
We can actually get to that and do that. I'm gonna demo some other stuff at the beginning. Like Vallejo water effects. I don't think I'm gonna take 2-part resin at all.
No.
Because there's, we can talk about it, but
Yeah.
there's no reason to do it. We're not gonna be able to get very far with it. We'll talk about using Mod Podge. We'll talk about using gloss gel medium, that type of stuff. And then I've got I think 8 bottles of like 8 little bottles of UV resin, as well as some little UV flashlights.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to do a little something there. Be cool.
Yeah. I can tell you that my preference for water effects is the Woodland Scenics line. I know it's not fast drying, but I think it turns out really, really well. And that's what I did.
Theirs is realistic water.
They have different ones. Let me see if I can find a picture of.
Yeah, Marty, you use the AK interactive stuff, right?
No.
I thought you took a class that used the AK for the scenery.
I mean, we did not this year, but the year before when I did my basing class. We used some of their stuff, but we didn't use any water stuff.
Oh, okay.
We were using like all their texture paste and all that jazz, which, by the way, awesome. Low pricey, but works like a champ.
Yeah, right.
Generally speaking, I make my own stuff because I'm cheap like that.
Oh, hey, let's show that.
Yeah,
Hold on
show
a minute.
that.
I'm going to show this. You talked about this, so
we're not seeing it yet.
there.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah. So that's all canvas, and this is spray paint. This is all done with spray paint to do the shadowing and everything like that. So, and this is all. This literally was a piece of painting canvas and spray paint, and then there's foam underneath it, and then we did this hill, and we did hardening. I can't remember what we used for hardener, but yeah, to make it look like that.
There was something that we decided, or that we talked about.
Mhm.
You wouldn't use that same canvas. It didn't want to stretch, but remember, we wanted to be able to stretch it into some of the grooves and stuff.
Right.
Was it because it was backed or it wasn't backed?
No, this one wasn't backed, was it?
Yeah, it was. It had
Was it?
plastic on the
Plastic?
backside.
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
what was. I think
Messing
that's
us
what the
up.
issue was.
Yeah.
Because we thought we could shape it better if it didn't have the plastic backing on it.
Gotcha. So yeah, here's one where we had our 150 British guys. It was a 1-to-1 ratio, and then these were one guy represented 10, right? 10 Zulus.
Yeah.
It was 400 Zulus, and there was approximately 4,000 Zulus. So, and they were all printed. Other than the Zulus and the Brits that came with the Horns of Buffalo set, everything else was 3D printed on our resin printers.
Yeah, there was a ton of dudes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let me see if I can find the one picture I was showing you. Reference your water effects. I have to go way back in time. There's the Canadian board that you have now, Marty, I believe. The one the Black Site Studios put together that I bought from him.
Yeah, Chris has it over at his place. Yep.
This Canadian board?
Well,
it's Canadian troops that were on it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's an Afghan board, but yeah.
Okay, here we go. I found it. All right. Boom.
Although it currently has no troops on it because they got packed up for moving.
Uh-oh, what happened to the picture? Can you see the
There you go.
picture? So you can see.
Do I have that?
I don't know. Did you?
Yes.
I think I have that.
I think you do as well.
So if you can see on the water wheel, that is Woodland Scenics water. You put it out on foil, spread it thin, and then let it dry, and then you peel it off, and then you put it on there, and then you take some of their other watering effects, and it creates the water, the white foam on top.
Yep.
And this is all water effects here. So it turns out really well. I think it does a really good job. So
Yes.
yeah. But
Yeah, I did. I put it away. I was gonna say because I did a water effects class with Ambrose Coddington at Adepticon this year, but I put my little projects away, so I can't reach them. But yeah, we did fast running waterfall kind of look, and very very similar technique using cotton and gel medium and letting it dry on like parchment paper, silicon paper, something like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna eventually
and then
do
you go over it with the water effect of choice, if you will.
Cool.
Very cool. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and close out the show. Thank Chris and Marty as always for joining us, and we thank you for joining us. Tuffy Ears, we miss you.
Yeah.
Yes. Hope everything's
If you can
okay.
hear us, for everybody that's joined us and supports us, thank you for the wonderful support. We're still growing, slow but steady, and we appreciate everybody who subscribes and comments and watches the videos. And if you know people that might be interested in our content, Jim's got another program for tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, be on the lookout for that. And then hopefully, as things start settling down in my job, we can get some more studio time in. And thanks, Marty, for picking up Wednesday's hobby stream.
My pleasure.
And look forward to more of that as well. So for Marty and Chris, this is Bill, and we thank you for joining us on this version of the SITREP podcast, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Take care.
You have been listening to the SITREP podcast. We hope you have enjoyed the show. Make sure you like and subscribe to all of our channels on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Discord. Remember to join us every other weekend for a new episode of the podcast, and don't forget our other programming on Wednesdays and Sundays. Thanks for listening.